Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And it's been a long day. I mean, this is another piece of legislation that really attacks at a different angle. It's a concern. I'm not decided that there was ever a non-hate-filled violent crime. I'm just not sure where you find that. Somebody who attacks somebody else, there's a hate motivation, there's a malice motivation there. And just by calling it something based on who they're attacking or not attacking is not making it worse. Crime is not somehow worse just because the identity and characteristics of the victim. Justice must be swift. It must be also blind. Murder is murder. Assault is assault. Mr. Chairman, we must remain faithful to our democratic principles as a nation. We are committed to free expression, free press, and blind justice. As I've stated earlier this year, governments that attempt to restrain people's hearts and minds for whatever reason pave the way to oppression and political violence. The First Amendment is not there for speech we like. It is there to protect speech that we abhor. It is not there for speech we like. And murder is murder. Assault is assault. You don't make the crimes worse or less. It is just simply one human attacking another, and that is wrong and should be condemned at all costs. H.R. 2708 is an attempt to the Democrat majority to do just that. It would allow for future administrations to use vaguely defined hate crime as against individuals with whom they disagree by permanently depriving them of a fundamental constitutional right. We know that this is true because other things legislation would apply retroactively to misdemeanor convictions to meet the bill's vague definition and may have occurred years or even decades in the past. Moreover, this legislation is unnecessary. Current law already contains robust protections to ensure dangerous felons are prohibited from possessing firearms, whatever the motivation for those crimes, and applying those now to a certain level because of a definition, again, is problematic. We're on an interesting slope here with this bill. It is the chairman's and majority's prerogative to pass this bill, which I'm sure they will, probably expeditiously. But please hear the warning of the minority, which is many times the one that is listened to later in life. Be careful what you're doing here as you go forward, keeping this vague, keeping this in a certain way of going back and retroactively applying. Hate is hate. Free speech, other things was once called that we may disagree with, we may want to suppress, but I respect the right of my colleagues to express views that I disagree with. That's the First Amendment. We don't need the First Amendment if we all agreed. We need the First Amendment protect. And when somebody attacks somebody, when somebody murders somebody, when somebody assaults somebody, when they go after somebody, whether they bully them or anything else, that is wrong and comes from a matter of hate. You don't have to call it what it is. It's already shown in the action. And this is just another misguided attempt on this legislation. But this is the decision of the majority. I say it's not good, but that's why the votes take place. And with that, I yield back.